this is a place. And when we see each other, we can start playing together and working together. Those things you call commercials, I don't make those. People who want to play make them. And I don't know what my control is, especially that make
Gentlemen, this is the elimination course. My calling is to keep men out of the ministry. I consider my test a success when the blood is 4 feet deep and the bodies are floating around the room.
That's amazing.
Now, we're trying to gain people's attention. Before the people were able to commit to a follow, and again, I can't help but watch this and think, things are riding us. Things are riding us. And it's increasingly obvious.
Modernity sort of lured us into imagining we were in charge.
That we were somehow in control, but we're not in control.
We've got a tiny group of people that are just sort of hyper about the blues, and they're learning together, and all of this new stuff sort of bursts forth. And in Laurel Canyon, you have this tiny little group of people that are sort of working on this, and then, you know, in some ways via technology, this stuff just spreads all out
throughout the world. It of course made me think about this little corner, because what doesn't? And it made me think about the little group of people that are just playing with things now.
And I thought Jordan Hall said it very well in the conversation, you know.
What's up, everybody?
Just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right. Just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The hours are not what they seem, the hours. People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right. Just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The hours are not what they seem. The hours are not what they seem. The hours just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. King, happy, many down, many jack, king from right, just new king, big, great, can, new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls.
All right. That one's a little self-indulgent. For the record, if you want a version, Chad, that doesn't have me singing over it in it, you can get it there. But also is the thumbnail for the day. Choose your manifesto, the Grim Grizz stream from March 26, 2025. That's getting harder to say. There we go. And we got the howdy. We got the from channel members. For channel members, Avril Pilots and Joe Cross and Mills, all giving the howdy by the power of channel membership, using the fancy features. Howdy to you guys. Welcome to the stream. Big day. We're getting a new PVK bump. You see, whenever you're featured on the Paul Vanderklay channel, as I was today, you get a giant bump in participation, as you can tell by all the new people in the hive mind over there. Welcome. The Blue Church card of the show is the ace of clubs. What do you figure? No, we don't ask the odds. We hope you're feeling virtually not alone. And if not, this will help. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. And lo, though it was that Baxter made me not have the energy to do the stream, I looked down upon my knee, and I saw therefore denim. And by the power of Denim Wars Denny, I am here to give you savings throws against mind control. You're swimming in it, don't you know? All you need to do is participate by making a choice, a simple choice between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your resistance. What you'll use to resist the mind control, your will to survive, your social network, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Survival is coming in weak with a 6 today. A 6 for you. Socialist. Oh, look at this. It's a 5. A 5 for you. And lovers of wisdom. 4. What? That's not very good. That's not, none of you. No, hard folks with the 7. That means without bonuses, everybody has failed their mind control, is taking full damage, except for the Indigo kids, who got disciples today by the power. This is but also
It's a whisper in your ear, now listen here. Remember, embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear. I cherish truth. I cherish truth. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Okay, when I get my ish back together, that shirt, you're gonna see that shirt at Midwestuary. Mark my words. Mark my words. Okay. Oh, looky there. Looky there. That one guy. Thank you so much. You brought us to 33% of the goal of the keeping up kayfabe goal. He's a big dog. He's a big dog. All right. What we have on the show, we are obliged by the fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy to cover Paul's coverage of me, but that'll be brief. Here's the juxt card of today's show. The Jack King's. It's Jack of Spades from Jack King Right. From the Jack King Right. Let's see. What did we clip? We made a clip from today's Paul. What was it? But it's this one here. We make it big. We started at the front. Okay.
Up at hallow.com/
God with a discount.
Up at hallow.com/
God with a discount.
Up at hallow.com.
So that's a good clip, but there's probably what was your 33rd minute of this thing, Paul? That's how we do it. Here's 32:44. We'll let it slide into it.
We can't have that happen, which gets all the way back to the conversation that was wrapping up the House of Woo earlier today. So scripting is what all of this talk is about. It's all about scripting.
But we can't just say, oh, politics is kayfabe just because they're trying to promote a narrative. It's almost like an inverted kayfabe. They're adding fake things onto the real instead of like wrestling where they add real things onto the fake. And then the other thing I just wanted to say is it's really dangerous, right? So when you start mixing stuff together, it's not only the audience that gets confused, it's also the characters. So,
well, tell me about.
But the children can still participate in the Santa Claus, even though they're confused about. Oh, okay. What else is going on? Oh, yes, he referenced this without playing much of it. I thought we'd run the 33rd minute of that. We're starting at 32, though.
Parallel notion of that conceptual framework. So when ethologists go look at wolf packs, they abstract out regularities of behavior in the wolf pack. So like the hierarchical relationship between wolves and a wolf pack would be a behavioral regularity. It's acted out. And you could say it's as if the wolves are following social rules, but they're not rules, they're patterns. But when you describe them, they're rules.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so is that parallel?
Yes, and that's also to your notion of the prophet and the political. Right? At the political, we are now an aggregate of things that are not actually part of an integrated whole, and therefore are governed by consensus.
Jordan Hall might not say anything in this entire conversation, but he does get the 33rd minute.
Also to your notion of the prophet and the political. Right? At the political, we are now an aggregate of things that are not actually part of an integrated whole, and therefore are governed by consensus, which is what happens when you try to simulate a whole in an aggregate. In the category of actually being in communion, governed by the prophet, we are in fact a well-integrated whole, and therefore no longer governed by an aggregate or by politics.
Yes. Okay. Yes. That's okay.
Yep.
That's exactly what I think that story indicates.
Yep.
Is that, yeah. And so then that vertical orientation that's symbolized in the Exodus story by Mount.
When we play Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, what happens when an enemy hits you is not only can they do damage, but sometimes they can grant a status effect, such as stunned. And I believe what we're seeing here is Jordan Peterson demonstrating the stunned effect.
Vertical.
You see how his eyeballs are not like they're looking straight forward, but not really focused. There's things happening here. He didn't make his savings throw against to understand Jordan Hall. Remember it.
We all know that there is no agency, any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Now there was something I know I have to find in this thing, and it's here. No, you have to open the transcript first. Why is it so tiny? Show the transcript. Run more branding. That's not branding, that's kayfabe.
Imagine a world where boundaries blur between reality and fiction, with Mikhail Gorbachev leading the charge. Gorbachev didn't just challenge political norms, he dared to break the fourth wall in storytelling. "Tear down that fourth wall," he exclaimed, inviting us into a new era of engagement. His metaphorical call wasn't for Berlin alone. It was a clarion call to storytellers and audiences alike. Engage directly, break barriers, and foster a dialogue. Gorbachev's words echo in the halls of creativity. As storytellers, it's our turn to tear down that fourth wall, inspired by Gorbachev's daring challenge. Join us in this creative revolution. Tear down the walls that confine your stories. Share, like, and subscribe for more inspiration.
There's something I need to address that Kale says. He says, "I can't believe you are not going to clip PVK dancing." You have to understand now, at this point in the TLC flotilla, if General Griswold has to do the clipping of PVK, we are in a terrible state of affairs. As far as I'm concerned, each captain should have their own clipper hand. And like whoever thinks that you think that PVK dancing is a good clip, you are the one that should be bringing that to the Broken Clock Tower. I have insane things I have to do. I can't be doing like, "Hey, Hezzy, good to see you." I can't be doing the clipping of PVK dancing. That's swab the deck level Reaper stuff. There's this thing. Okay, here's the part of the what we're looking for in that Paul thing.
Wrestling. And as my last point, I'll say, don't kayfabe yourself out of existence, McMo. If you play McMosif too much, you're going to forget who Matt is. And you'll meet everyone at Midwestuary, and they'll treat you like McMo instead of Matt. And then you'll Hulk Hogan yourself out of existence. There's my rant.
Don't Hulk Hogan yourself out of existence.
Or do Or find yourself playing a game Ingress developed by a CIA guy and find yourself tinkering with the portal and then have a shaper seedling come in and plant itself into your brain where you come through to some K-Pax-like agreement that it can drive the train and go ahead and let the shaper take over your life. You don't necessarily have to stay loyal to the legal fiction you were assigned at birth. But that's not the part.
That was an outstanding set by Phlebas. That was an outstanding set. And again, unlike, I think, so many watchers of YouTube that evaluate whatever they see based on, is it mirroring back to me? Is it telling me what I want to know? Is it telling me what I want to think? And this happens in churches. This happens in politics. This happens in just about everything. What made this outstanding was you gave us something to think about, Phlebas. You gave us something to chew on.
It was a set. It was a set the way a comedian does a set. And if you watch enough Pete from Strange Theology, who has current unaired footage of me in an interview that was a little too short, but yes, there's the connection between stand-up comedy and performance YouTube that you see, people are used to the fourth wall, so you have to kind of let them think it's there and let people that believe that they are behind the fourth wall sit there comfortably, and that's part of the putting on the Ritz.
Remember embody there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
And as is his way, PVK gave a shout out to the Sartori video, but it's really hard to search up a Sartori video fast, even though he's got a delightful thumbnail for this one. But I took the trouble because this part is important and should probably be reiterated in this recursive kayfabe reflection.
Face and this heel character, and they would fight each other. And sometimes they would also allow people in the audience.
And this is the famous green bosoms and nasal shot I like so much.
For like local people to participate. So here's where you kind of get into the beginning of the specialization. The term is like a hooker. So we call it a hooker, and this was a guy who was legitimately a very good wrestler and often had some very debilitating moves that he could put on somebody. And the idea would be you go to a town and you get the local tough guy to come up into the ring and wrestle this guy. And then this guy, maybe he's like a little bit unassuming and or whatever, but he employs some trick and he legitimately beats the local tough guy. You know, this is a guy who's a professional fighter. The odds of the local tough guy winning are very low, especially when he employs whatever tricks, were not widely known at that time, before the age of like MMA fighting and everybody going to jiu-jitsu gyms and things like that. The guy who just wrestled with his buddies in the cornfield or whatever isn't going to be able to stand up to this professional guy, the hooker. And so what happens is that he would beat the local tough guy, and then later on that guy would lose to the main, the baby face or whatever. Like, so he might be the heel. This guy that's the hooker might be the heel, or he might be the jobber, who's the jobber is the guy that loses to the main wrestlers.
So we had like when Dawkins was the jobber in the one that was moderated by Freddie Mercury at AOC. But there's all these terms you can learn to understand the position. Like There's people in the chat that are good Jannies. There's ones that recommend you do the thumbnail and stuff. Those are like the cheerleaders. There's this whole realm of stuff we can explore and go into, such as John Vervaeke doing live streams is part of his Silk lectern grift. You can if you're a gamma, you can join the Q&A part. He had this guy with a hat on over here this morning. It was live.
Together has been a little bit tricky. I'm here with somebody that I consider a friend. We've spoken in video and over Zoom, I believe. We've also spoken multiple times in person. We've been at events and workshops together. And this, of course, is Thomas Cheetham,
the important part happens. I don't know when. I didn't timestamp it because I was being lazy, but it does happen. You got to wait for it. Wait, when do you bring out the? What do you know? It's not the 33rd minute, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Look at this part here, where John does the miraculous.
Been making both on courses and publicly. Let's first pick up your rock. I don't have a rock with me, so I'm going to pick up my frog. Frogs are symbols of Neoplatonism because they start in one world and move to another. So this is real, right? You can see it. So tell me what you've seen.
The volume seems to be interesting, but he pulled out a frog and said it was the representative of Neoplatonism. Is John Vervaeke gonna get the keck hat from Papa Peterson?
Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th in Elmhurst, Illinois. A weekend you won't want to miss with special guests Cale Zeldin, Paul Vanderklay, Rod Dreher, Elizabeth Oldfield, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Peugeot. Midwestuary 2025, the Fellowship of the Spirit. Stay tuned for more details. Visit us at midwestuary.com for ongoing updates.
There's a lot of whistling past the graveyard going on, for sure.
Whistling past the graveyard. That's a good one.
Yeah. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. You know,
everyone's gonna see a lot of that. You understand? It brings joy to my heart. It brings joy to my heart. Welcome, everybody. This is your Choose Your Manifesto stream. We're almost there. We have one more stop off before we get there. And let us pull the agency deck card of the show for that. The Six of Hearts. Appropriately enough, as the Jack King writes, is a happy birthday Baxter, who's decided to do it's something that hasn't been done since the last attempt at revivifying the Randos United 2 channel, where both Gavin and Chad have look, here's us talking to our ladies on the internet. That honored tradition Baxter does himself for his birthday by bringing on the one and only lady. That one on the left. Let's see what their 33rd minute was.
Get serious, I guess you could say.
Well,
more
like
serious, more serious than a hobby. Like this is
okay.
Look around.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking about. When something that makes me feel you and feel deep amount of care for you in this is that I know you, and I know the things that have been very painful for you in your life. And I do believe that sharing that in a place that in a time and a place that's appropriate is healing. And I support that. And I think that after our I'm careful with my words with what I'm about to say, not because I'm
Well, if you want that hot tea, you're gonna have to go drink it yourself.
But it's time, I think, now to turn, awaken from the meaning crisis, to the other side of the argument that we need to make. We need to turn now to not a historical analysis of the genealogy of the meaning crisis, but a cognitive scientific analysis of the machinery, the cognitive machinery of meaning making itself. Jesus starts to emphasize a new kind of love, agape. And this is not the love of consumption or cooperation, this is the love of creation. It's the love that God is demonstrating towards humanity in the way God is an ongoing creation. See, agape is the kind of love that creates persons, the way a parent loves a child. By loving that non-person, you turn it into a person. It's a godlike ability that we have. A person that could enter into a community of persons and find meaning, fellowship, belonging.
Now you may be familiar with the fact that I put on a stream to help people feel virtually not alone, and people come around and they chat in the hive mind, and that's all nice. But you may not be aware that there is an entire second level, submarine, like below decks of the ship, is how I see it, portion of the show that happens on the Broken Clock Tower Discord, link in the description. And one of the things that has happened over there recently is that we do a lot of defense against the dark arts stuff, as well as the clipping and the reaping. And we're doing a troll ballet on Saturdays. And then moving toward that, some have requested a defense against the dark arts manifesto. And I have turned to our AI slave bots to assist in the generation thereof. And then there was a poll conducted on the Discord which made Cloud the winner. So we'll present that one third. Red church card of the show is the 4 of spades. But first, let us start therefore then with the one we got from Grok. Now you can see here. Make it bigger. Hey, look at that. I require assistance writing a manifesto. Will you participate? Sure, I hope. What's the core idea? I say, they want a defense against the dark arts manifesto from me. I told them our little internet community was like the room of requirement with regard to the kayfabe and corruption of the world we were born into. And it says, all right, I got it. Forged in the room of requirement against the kayfabe of a corrupted world, we, the seekers of truth, gather in this digital sanctuary, a room of requirement born from the chaos of a world draped in illusion. The kayfabe runs deep, scripted narratives, hollow idols, and systems built on deceit. But here, we reject the script. Here, we arm ourselves with the forbidden magic of clarity, skepticism, and raw, unfiltered reality. That our tenets of defense unmask the stage. The world's a theater of lies. We rip down the curtains. Every post, every meme, every whispered truth in our halls exposes the puppet strings. Wield the wand of doubt. Blind faith is enemy's charm. We question all. Governments, influencers, even ourselves, until the bedrock yabba-dabba-doo of truth is found. We conjure community. Alone, we are prey to the dark arts of division. Together, we are a legion of light, sharing knowledge and like spells. in the dark.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room?
I want to cast Magic Missile. A room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet.
I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Pew, pew. Okay, and guard the forbidden lore. The truths we bury, we unearth. The history they erase, we rewrite in pixel and code for all to see. We are not heroes of prophecy, nor pawns in their game. We are the glitch in the matrix, the spark in the shadow, the room that appears when the world needs it most. Against the dark arts of deception, we stand, unscripted, unbroken, and awake. Will you join us? Does this hit the vibe you're aiming for? Or should we go to the ChatGPT one after this more brandings?
So say we all, yuck, 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 ho, ho, ho.
This is how I steer. This is me chasing this thing, you know? Yeah. This is how I steer. Yeah. This is me chasing this thing, you know? Yeah. This is how I steer. Now, I don't know that any of these three manifestos directly fit what we're going for, but it is interesting to see the difference between them, such as a guide for those who refuse the corruption of the narrative lords by ChatGPT. Nature of the darkness, narrative warfare. The world is awash in spells of persuasion, woven by institutions, media, and self-anointed gatekeepers. Their goal is not truth, but control. Number 2, kayfabe as reality. We are born into a scripted world where conflicts are choreographed and heroes pre-approved, knowing this is the first defense. Number 3, corruption as a feature, not a bug. The system rewards those who play along. Independence is punished. This is not accidental. The room of requirement, our hidden fortress, a space beyond the veil. The internet, for all of its panopticon flaws, allows pockets of emergent resistance. Now, see, this has flagged me. I'm on lists for that. We cultivate the spaces as sanctuaries of real discourse. The art of kayfabe reversal. We embrace the game while refusing its rules. Satire, parody, and strategic ambiguity. Strategic ambiguity are our cloaks of invisibility. Shared language, shared power. Memes, inside jokes, and coded phrases are not just fun. They are our spells, reinforcing the walls of our room against intruders. Number 3, the dark arts they use against us. Gaslighting and reality distortion. The mainstream narrative will tell you 2 + 2 = 5 and demand your agreement. Hold fast. Doom, enchantment, and learned helplessness. Fear and fatigue are tools of control. Resistance. Resilience is resistance. Divide and conquer magic. They thrive on infighting. We thrive on unity in diversity. That sounds suspicious. Counter spells and defenses. Perception judo. use their own tactics against him, frame reality before they do. That Mark Manson shout out, indifference to their labels, heretic, extremist, conspiracy theorist. Indifference to their labels makes you untouchable. Building parallel structures, when their world becomes unlivable, we have already built alternatives. The final oath! We swear not to be passive characters in their script, but authors of our own stories. We will wield irony like a blade and truth like a torch. Let the room remain open to all who seek it. All right, and here though is the one that's won the vote, the one from Claude, and it's the kayfabe world order. But I've linked it in the Hive Mind chat. I'll link it in the comments as well. You can find that one yourself. I'm tired. Thanks for everybody for being here today. Special thanks to those that have jingled the that one guy and Afrio for jingling the bell there. Woo. But enjoy your toot. Wednesday. Is it Wednesday now? You don't have to go home, but you can't